Welcome to our 15th spooky review from Spooky Ventures. This time we're looking at a movie that is not a horror movie. It's actually a first for these reviews, but it is spooky reviews, not horror reviews, and this movie is spooky. You might compare it to The Sixth Sense in a lot of ways. Like that one, this is a mystery thriller with a real supernatural side to it. To me, the supernatural seems darker to this one, though. While this was just released by Arrow Films on Blu-ray, it is actually from 1989. There's a good chance you missed this one the first time, though. That's because the original release was hampered by the fact that both the film company, Palace Films, and its U.S. distributor, Miramax, were struggling financially at the time. So the film's debut was hampered drastically, and it's a bit of a shame because this is a great film. The majority of the movie is a flashback. That flashback begins with a reporter tracking down a woman who he has interviewed in the past. He says that he wants to ask her questions about the day her father died. From here we go back in time to the main section of the film. Now, there are three central characters in the main story line. The reporter, who's played by Tim Hulse, is one of those characters. The woman he was tracking down in the opening is another. That character is played by Rosanna Arquette. Her father, in the person of Jason Robards, is the third central character. Very shortly after we're brought into the storyline, we realize that the father and daughter are essentially running a con. They go from town to town, setting up shop at various churches and communicating with the lost loved ones of people in attendance via cold readings. Now, they don't actually call it that, but that's the method they are using, or at least that's what they were doing. We get the impression that there's something more going on. Apparently the daughter, who plays the part of the medium in the con, is starting to get some real visions. It all starts to turn dark when she predicts the death of a man. When she also says that she knows the name of the person who murdered the man, she gets the attention of the reporter, who starts following the case. She also becomes a target for that killer. As we follow the story, that is essentially a thriller about the killer trying to silence her, and the journey leads all the characters on that journey. The visions become more prevalent as it seems her power's growing. Ultimately, this main story does get wrapped up. There are mysteries that remain unanswered, though. Those are the ones that stick with you long after the movie is over. Those also represent the supernatural side of the movie. Those are also what turn the movie from a character study type thing into something spooky and dark. With this new Arrow Blu-ray, we get a new restoration of the movie that is worth the price of admission by itself. But they didn't stop there. There are a couple of audio commentaries. One is archival and one is new. There are archival interviews and an archival making-of featurette. As popular as similar films have been over the years, I have to think that if this had been given a proper release at the time, it would have been huge as well. I'm just glad it's finally getting the respect it deserves with such a great release. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.